Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has launched what it calls the 67th wave of Operation Promise True 4, unleashing a barrage of ballistic missiles and drones across the region. The IRGC claims it has struck American military infrastructure, including the Ali Al-Salem base, drone command centers, aircraft maintenance hubs, and early warning radar systems. It says Israeli satellite and defense sites across the occupied territories were also targeted, signaling a widening scope of strikes beyond symbolic retaliation. Tehran has framed this wave as revenge for the killing of Brigadier General Ali Mohammad Nayini, a senior IRGC spokesperson and propaganda figure. In an official statement, the Guards praised Nayini's decades-long role in shaping wartime messaging and vowed that his martyrdom would be answered with force. The operation, launched during the final days of Ramadan, was accompanied by religious messaging and coded as "O Master of the Time, help me," underscoring the ideological tone behind the escalation. In a sharp and highly provocative warning, the IRGC declared that the fate of Saddam awaits Trump and Netanyahu, invoking the downfall and execution of Iraq's former ruler. The message signals a shift from battlefield targeting to direct political threats, as Iran positions the conflict as a broader confrontation against US and Israeli leadership. The language marks one of the most aggressive public escalations in recent weeks. Meanwhile, on the Lebanon front, Hezbollah has released footage showing attacks on Israeli armored vehicles and Merkava tanks near Tebe, with visuals of burning vehicles and troops retreating. The developments point to a coordinated multi-front pressure strategy, with Iran driving long-range strikes while its regional allies engage Israeli forces on the ground. The risk of a wider regional conflict is now sharply rising as tensions spill across borders. In what it calls Wave 66 of Operation Promise Truth 4, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps confirms the use of multi-warhead ballistic missiles and heavy strike systems targeting Israel and US-linked assets across the region. From Tel Aviv to West Jerusalem, from Haifa to strategic zones in the south, this was not a symbolic retaliation. This was a coordinated, high-intensity strike campaign. Iran says the operation was carried out with a clear message: revenge for its fallen commanders, and a warning to what it calls the US-Israel war axis. The scale of weaponry used marks a dangerous escalation. Iran deployed a mix of solid and liquid fuel missiles, including Qadr, Khorramshahr, Khaybar Shekan, Qiyam, and Zulfikar systems, along with drones, many designed to carry multiple warheads, increasing their ability to overwhelm air defense systems. This is saturation warfare in action, designed not just to strike, but to penetrate and exhaust defensive shields. The global alarm bells are now ringing. At a high-level meeting in Brussels, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres warned that the conflict risks spiraling completely out of control, with devastating consequences for civilians and the global economy.
First, to the United States and to Israel. It's high time to end this war that is risking to get completely out of control, causing immense suffering on civilians, and with propagation around the global economy that is really dramatic, with potential tragic consequences, especially for the least developed countries. Second message to Iran: stop attacking your neighbors. they were never parties to the conflict. The Security Council has condemned these attacks, has ordered them to stop, as it has ordered to open the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran claims these precision systems successfully hit targets across multiple locations, including areas linked to U.S. military presence in the region. On the ground, the impact is already visible. In northern Israel's Shfaram, missile fragments and cluster-like debris struck residential areas, leaving 10 people injured and damaging homes, vehicles, and infrastructure. Residents describe a night of chaos: sirens, explosions, and falling shrapnel.
We were at home around 12 at night. At midnight, we heard a boom after the siren, and it turned out that shrapnel fell here in the neighborhood. Look what it did. Look here. Cars, houses, windows collapsed, damage to cars, people suffering from shock. Some were evacuated to Rambam Hospital, and we are hoping for the best.
We have 10 casualties in this building. It was a severe strike, and the house was badly damaged. At the time, there were 2 parents, 3 children, and the mother of one of the parents inside. All of them were evacuated to hospital. We still do not know their condition, but we are hoping for the best and expect an update shortly. There were also impacts at 3 other locations. 4 more residents were taken to hospital from those sites in relatively mild condition, and we are awaiting an update on their well-being.
Iran, meanwhile, is amplifying the psychological dimension, claiming Israelis are now living a siren-to-siren life, confined to shelters for extended periods. At the same time, propaganda messages embedded in the attack, including stickers on missiles, frame the strikes as revenge for martyrs and a fight against what Iran calls the American Zionist regime. This is no longer just military escalation. This is ideological warfare, fused with precision strikes.